I just recently started to have a different perspective about architecture in general. I feel like there's a lot more lifestyle element to it than just building or creating stuff.
So for me, architecture is innate. It's inborn. I was the best in technical drawing in secondary school. I'm an addition to you. I remember at age 5, 6, my dad bought me Legos, and I just started building stuff.
Welcome to another episode of Perspective with the Rayven. Interesting journey so far. Had some really good conversation, thought-provoking to say the least. Interesting enough, most of my guests, or now all of my guests, have come from Columbia University, my alma mater. Today, I'm here with Soso Braide, an architect, project manager. He's been in this game for 16 years. He's the owner of Adisio Limited. Adisio Limited, Guide Nigeria, and Braid and Co. Right? Husband, father, and from what I gather, a Pan-African, because he does projects. Welcome, Soso.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. How are you? How's it going?
Very well.
You know what's so interesting about this conversation? It wasn't really planned
At all.
and I think the best things are organic.
Yes.
Right? So I just recently started to have a different perspective about architecture in general. I feel like there's a lot more lifestyle element to it than just building or creating stuff, right? But my question to you is like, why architecture? Why that space?
Okay, for me, it's been something I've wanted to do since I got my first Lego toys. I remember at age 5, 6, my dad bought me Legos, and I just started building stuff. And from that set of Legos, I got a second set. So I build stuff and I don't want to break them.
You don't want to break them?
Yeah, so I keep it aside and I tell him to get me another one. And he does the same thing. I build stuff, keep it aside and all. And if I take it down, I build something better. So for me, architecture is innate. It's inborn. I was the best in technical drawing in secondary school. I never followed the technical processes to get to my
It was organic and
goal.
natural.
It was organic. So they tell you this is what you should do, get it, and I just do it.
So you had a way of finding your own how.
Yes, I had a way of finding my own how, and I got it done, and
that's what you love. Yeah, so like I was also talking earlier about how I see there's a lifestyle element to architecture. It's like, so you do residentials as well?
I do residential. Yeah.
So like walk me through like creating like your residential properties. Like what are you thinking about in terms of?
So let's just say a client comes to me now, we want you to do something, and say you build this house for us, or design a 5-bedroom, but for us. Like I get your brief, then I interact with you. You understand? I get to try to know the kind of person you are and what, in the shortest period of time, what you like and what you don't like, and how you live your life with your family. And I design the house based on that. So that way I am appealing to the person's lifestyle. So even when I'm presenting the drawings to you, I'm hitting certain points where you be like, why you take
I think yeah.
It's not like, nice. Usually don't have anything to say.
Because it's a personalized kind.
Yes, it's a personalized.
I love that. So like in doing this, it's like, do you feel like you get a sense where you connect with your clients by asking these questions and creating a whole
Yes.
That's like one of the most
friends. So I've been privileged. I don't know if I was saying that to some friends yesterday or some people yesterday or 2 days ago. I'm friends with my clients. So I get into your life and your project now becomes my project. You understand? So I find myself giving myself away to your project. And yes, we want to make money, but the money is no longer important at some point. Yes, it's there, it has to come.
Of course.
You understand? But it's not number one.
Right.
My goal is making sure that by the time I create this this contraption for you. You love it. You anytime you're coming to your house, you're happy, and we have a good relationship. So I've really just a few people have come off not on a bad note, left the projects on a bad note, but the rest you find out we're friends. They refer me to other people and all that. This guy is good. Oh yes, but it's expensive. Oh, but
the
will get
quality.
the job done.
I love that.
Yeah?
I love that.
Yeah.
So like one of my guests was talking about like I'm guessing what I'm hearing from you is reputation.
Yes,
is a big thing.
Yes.
Right?
So it's very important to have a reputation of predictable excellence. Predictable. So they're not guessing.
They know what to expect.
You are not even guessing yourself. You know that before I send out a drawing, I must be okay with it. So even if you give me 1 month to do something, and at the end of that 1 month, I'm not okay with what I want to give you, I'll tell you it's not ready. You understand? Until I'm ready, then I can send it to you at 2 a.m. and say, this is your drawing. And you'll be like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. It's good we waited.
It's good we waited because you don't want to jeopardize the reputation you worked hard to build.
Yes.
Because you kind of like that's your currency, isn't it?
It is. It is. Your reputation is your currency as an architect. Your integrity is your currency, and the integrity must be seen in your design and how you do things. Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah, but I also know that you also double as a project manager.
Yes, I do.
So
I do.
So that involves a lot of people management, people skills. Like walk me through that. Like how's your
because I'm a meticulous person, when it comes to my designs, it has to come out the way I intended it to. If it doesn't, then it's a problem. But it's more like I became a project manager because I wanted to see my projects through. I didn't want to leave my designs in the hands of someone who doesn't understand where it came from.
All right. So I'm getting sometimes like you can have the greatest design and everything, and like somewhere along the construction process they can miss some things.
Yes.
So you didn't want to take any chances with that.
No, I didn't.
You wanted to make sure that like the way your designs are, the person in charge is able to interpret them.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. So I also see that like one of your business has an interesting name. Addicio, right? Where's that from?
It's that's the main business. It's
okay. That's your
that's the
mothership.
Yes, that's the mothership. It's addition, addizione, Italian. So I shortened it to Addicio. It just means what it is. I'm an addition to you. No matter at what level we come into your project, we are an addition.
So value added.
I always come from that place of value. Relationships and work, everything. You must come from that place of value.
I love it. So like everyone within your organization, they understand this, I'm guessing.
Yes. I know that if Braide comes and he sees that this is not what it's supposed to be, you bring it down.
That's so interesting. No, I like that. To me, I'm very particular about like the stories behind the names, right? Is there anything about the Italian, like I'm guessing you could have gone for any other language, but why?
I like Italy.
You like Italy?
I like
from a design perspective.
Yes.
Because to be honest, like in a lot of conversation around design, architecture, arts, Italy is one of those birthplaces.
Yes. So it's more of like their lifestyle that intrigues me and endears me to them. So that's basically one of the few places I want to go to is Italy.
It's Italy. I love it. Then also like you have another business, Guide Nigeria.
So Guide Nigeria is a project management.
Okay, that's company. Okay. That's where your project management. Okay. So that was born after
Addicio. So it's organic.
Okay, yeah. But that makes sense because it's like you look like a very like logical, progressive thinker, right? Like so, okay, this works, and how else can we? So obviously, also part of your the addition, like so, what can we add?
Yes.
I like that. So that's what you're constantly thinking. So then, so Braide and Co.
Is procurement now. So while we were at the job, I'll tell you where that came from. I did a job for Total in Uganda, and it was just design and project management. Yeah, but at the end of the project, or when the project was about to end, they needed procurement, and the people there weren't forthcoming. So they asked me, come, can you get this for us? Can you fit out this entire office space for us? And I was like, yes, I can.
I can.
Why not? They're Braide and Co.
Oh wow! So it kind of like all your businesses like kind of feed off each other in some
Yes,
way,
yes,
right?
yes, and they're all in the built environment. All in the
Oh,
built environment, and they'll keep coming like that.
so this is no way. This doesn't stop here.
It doesn't stop here.
I love that. But then also like, it sounds like you're a very busy man. You wear so many hats, right?
Yes.
Like, so how do you find time to unwind?
That's number one for me.
Oh yeah.
So I build my life around one, the gym, two, resting. If I'm not there, the job will go to someone else. I don't kill myself. Yes, I want to achieve what I'm supposed to achieve on any project, but I must always take time to take care of myself.
I love that.
Yeah, so my life is built around the gym. I don't take any projects or any meetings before 10 a.m.
Okay.
So I must be done with the gym before we.
So do you have breakfast after the gym, or like what's the routine like?
Well, okay. So after the gym, I don't eat. I eat say around 3,
Okay.
2, 3. Once maximum twice a day.
Are you a coffee person? I love coffee.
No, I don't do coffee. Green tea.
Green tea.
Green tea.
Green tea. Yeah, it's okay. So it's interesting, like, and also know that like your father, husband, right?
Yes.
How do you make out time for your family? How's your what is that?
That's also one other very important part of my life. I when I'm in Lagos, I must pick up my children from school. They must see me because that's the only time they see me. Yeah, so by the time I get back home at night, they're sleeping. But you see that time from when I go to their classroom, pick them up, and drop them at home.
Right.
They have my time.
They have your time.
Yes.
Undivided attention.
Yes, they have my time. So it's important that.
No, I see like you're a very like stylish, fashionable person. I'm just so because you know like we went to and where like the bishop will say the way you dress.
Is how you get dressed.
The way you dress, like, does that shape in any way how you go about the way you look? Does that shape the way you feel about yourself?
So feeling about myself is not about how I look really. It's about the value I place on myself determines how I feel about myself. So some people may think I'm overconfident, but that is because I place a lot of value on myself. But me dressing up and loving fashion is also from inside. I will not come out not ready. I will not come out of my house not looking the part. I'm not cheap, so I cannot come out looking cheap.
You can't afford to not.
I can't afford.
It's a risk you're not willing to take.
Yeah, I'm not.
I love that. Yeah. I love that. So I know that your projects span across like Africa, and like talking to you, you have a very Pan-African approach. Like, how do you see like business in the continent generally? Like, are there differences from how it is in Nigeria? Is there a thought process difference? How do you see that?
So yes, there are differences. So the first thing for me is that Nigeria has made hardship. We've been molded through hardship. So when we go to places where it works, it's easy for us to thrive.
I see that.
Do you understand? That's why Nigerians are taking over everywhere they go. They don't like Nigerians in most of these countries where I've gone to execute projects.
You are too quick.
Yeah? We're too quick. We want things done real quick. Hey, why is this not done? Why are you wasting time? Okay, I'll do it myself, and I do it. They are wasting time to get to procure some furniture, and a Nigerian comes, and in 3 days he has gotten everything. He's sending you an invoice, and you're now hating him for being
proactive.
Yeah, so it's easy. It's easy to actually go there. Yes, there are some bottlenecks with the systems out there, but once you meet with their regulations and their rules, it's easy for you to thrive.
So okay, like from a project manager perspective, right? Like, so what is it like managing like other Africans versus managing Nigerians?
Okay, so I have a modus operandi. I have one person. I pick out one person that I think understands or I know understands the way I work, and I allow the person
drive it.
Yes. So I talk to that person and I tell the person do what
it is.
Yeah. So I have a project in Uganda now, Kampala. I have my project manager there. I talk to him, and
So he understands your language, your
Yes.
thought process, and is able to help you translate it to the rest of the team.
Yeah. So we go to site, and next day I'm calling him, Eddie, how far? What's this?
It sounds like you're big on delegation. Delegating.
Very much. The easiest way is always the best way. The easiest way is always the best way.
I like that. I like that because like I was reading a book. I think it's called Kaizen. Like, and it talked about how we underestimate the power of the simple steps.
Very simple.
Like when you do it one step at a time, there's so much value in being able to do. I complete this task, then I move on to the next one.
Next one. Yeah.
Instead of trying to do everything at once.
You will not get anything done if you try to.
And you kind of affect all the different pieces because at that point you're not really giving full attention to any one part.
Yes.
But when you do it, you finish and you move on.
There's a process.
There's a process.
Yeah, there's a process. So over time, like in construction, now over time, my guys know that there is a way we operate. This must be done before you go here. This must be done before you go there. This must be done before you go to there. So that's how the projects move. By taking small steps, you find out that the project is actually moving faster. Yeah, and you are hitting everything you're supposed to hit. You understand? Has this person done their job? Yes, they've done it because they know that it's in the process book that.
No, I love that. Like, so it's really interesting about like, cause like, I never really saw the importance of the small steps, right? Till I started to do events, right? And you find that like one small step when it's not attended to can ruin a big event.
Ruin everything, yes.
Right. So I had one experience with an event that we're doing. It was Jamrock some years ago, and there was someone. It was raining season, and someone was supposed to be in charge of covering the wires, right? And the rain fell. It was time to put on the power back, but we couldn't because the wires were in water. Aish. And we lost millions just because of one simple step that was neglected. So I do believe now I tend to see things a bit more differently. I feel the need to break it down, and just hearing you speak is putting a lot of things into context. So like, but I know like you're making it sound, I know it hasn't always been this easy.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't.
What has been some of the challenges you faced in terms of getting to this point where you're so confident about what it is that you do?
People.
Do
you understand? I tell people who care to listen that at some point architecture became like clockwork to me. I get up and I can design whatever you want me to design. Yeah. What is hard till date is managing people. That's the challenge you always face in our industry, managing your architects, managing your artisans, you know, so managing contractors and their subcontractors and all. It's not easy. Yeah. You can get it right with the project, and next thing, so one component of that project says, "Oh, okay, I'm relocating to Canada." Oof. And like I'm facing it right now.
So like, where do you start from?
Where do you start from again? So my architect, my assistant, tells me 2 weeks ago, I'm relocating to the UK. I'm like, oh boy, what do I do now? Okay, how do I find someone like you? You know, so what I just did, I told her, say, before you leave here, find someone like you.
Don't leave me stranded.
Don't leave me. I would not. So that's it.
But then that also kind of makes it very needful to have, like you said, processes, because that, like, how do you hand over and transfer knowledge from one employee to another. So I think just to buttress what you were talking about, how you have your way that you operate, that everybody within the system. So is it one of those things that when someone comes in, you indoctrinate them into the process?
Oh yeah, they must talk to me.
Oh, they must talk to you.
Yeah, you must understand. You must go through me. I hold the vision.
Right.
You understand? It's not because I don't approach architecture from a commercial angle. Every project is an opportunity for me to show myself. Do you understand?
So the self-expression in your work.
Yes, you must know me and how I do things.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I hardly give out the raw, okay, like in music they would call it what's the word, the actual tapes,
the masters.
I don't give out the masters. The masters
that's your currency. Yes. So what you give out is,
so after I finish the masters, and I'll tell you, go and refine it.
So you give them bits of it to work with, to put together.
Yes.
That way you maintain, but at the same time they have all enough information to ensure that
so I get happy when my friends that are architects tell me, we know your design. So if we see
your design, because there are certain elements.
Yes.
But do you think your design and your personality, is there a correlation between your designs and your personality?
Is there a correlation between I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I'm not as put together as I may think I am. I'm not sure I'm not put together.
No, but it's so nice. Like, but just on a personal level, right? Like, I'm sure there are times where you've second guessed yourself.
Yes.
Right, and there are times where you've questioned, why am I even doing this? Where things haven't gone exactly right. Have you been able to continue? Because in this Nigerian business landscape, I know, like, any business owner will tell you, it's not for the faint-hearted.
It's not. See, Jacob, one of the things I tell whoever wants to listen is, the most important conversation you can have is a conversation with self. Because at the point where you want to give up, you are alone.
You're alone, huh?
There is nobody to talk to. If Jackpot likes, he can be your motivational speaker outside. When you go into your room and you're sitting by yourself, that is when you make the decision to either give up or move. So when you're faced with that situation where you're second guessing, am I really taking the right step? If you are not resolute enough to say, hey, that's a down moment, you must get up and say, nah, I'll move. In my career, this 16 years, there are years where I didn't have one project, and I'm like, okay, I need to go. And I told one of my uncles, I'm looking for a job. This thing is most likely not for me. The guy said, Braide, you have burnt that bridge. Don't go back.
Don't go back. No going back.
Just continue.
Forward
See that thing? His name is Eugene Abels. He's the one that told me this. I remember where he told me. So you've burnt that bridge. Don't go back. You can't afford to go back. You won't like it.
You won't like it.
So continue. The next thing, before you know it, someone is calling you. We want you to do stuff. We want you to do this. Well, and boom.
Oh, that's so big. I love that, because at the end of the day, it's like, if you keep going back and forth, like, you'll never make headway.
You'll never make it. You'll never make it. So no matter how slow it is, it's sinusoidal. You understand? It's not straight. Yeah, even if it's sinusoidal, it's actually upward. You understand? So it's going
but
that way.
But there's progress.
There has to be progress.
So, but then that means you have to be able to step back and look at your journey yourself.
Yes.
That's the only way you see this progress.
Introspection, yes. Introspection.
Is that something you do a lot?
Yes, it is. It is. At any time of the day, I can sit down and just look at where I am and think, okay, thank God I'm here.
Thank God I'm here.
You understand? I'm very appreciative. I'm a very thankful person. I abhor negativity. I don't allow people who talk negatively
to be in your space.
Be in my space. I violently resist it.
I love that.
Because it is what you allow to enter you that will sit as a seed and grow. You don't know it, but you have allowed that thing sit inside you.
Okay.
Someone says, I don't like saying this, but someone says Nigeria is hard.
So you know you embody it
Before
yourself.
you know it, you embody it yourself.
And you be creating that.
So I sit down around a whole lot of egbons, captains of industry, and I'm privileged to sit around them. And these guys know their craft, and they say the economy is going to this, is going to that, and I'm like, okay, my economy is not good. Within myself, my economy
not my economy.
Not my economy. I'm not negating whatever they say.
You're not accepting it for your reality. Your reality is different.
It's different.
I love it. So basically, like, for people listening, like, they should own their reality.
Yes, and also my mentor said something to me. He said you can predict your future by what you do every day. You can so if you smoke every day, you can predict that in the future your lungs are going to be messed up. If you exercise every day, you can predict that you're going to be a bit healthy. Yeah, tomorrow is not promised to anyone, but what you do today, what you do now is very important.
Right.
You understand? So you must understand now what your picture is and what to do, and make sure you're doing it. You understand? Because Nigerians, most Nigerians, like, there's no delayed gratification.
They want everything.
They want everything quick. That's why we like church.
We like miracles.
That's why we like miracles. Life is not a miracle.
No, it's not.
I wrote something some days back on my Instagram. Say you pray for change. God does not bring the change. He changes how you think so that you can bring that change to yourself.
So it's a self thing.
It's a self thing. He doesn't have any power here.
So his power here is man on earth.
Man is you.
So you're creating his own image and likeness,
So,
meaning.
yes. So he affects how you think. He makes you go read a book that will affect what you understand. How you think, then you bring that thing to yourself.
So what I'm thinking is, like, some of all these things that we think are negative situations are just opportunities to change the way we think.
Yes.
So, wow, this is giving me a different way to embrace. Because also, just add to what you said.
I tell people something. Sorry for interjecting.
No, please, by all means.
Embrace your darkness.
I love that.
I love darkness.
No, because I started reading a book called The Obstacle is the Way, right? And one of the things that book taught me is the fact that, like, sometimes in wrestling with your obstacle, not even sometimes, most times, it's a new version of you that is born. And this obstacle is just to make you think that, and it's also just to change your way of thinking. Maybe you just thought that this is how things should go, but the world is telling you no. And with that obstacle, right, you just find a new way, because you're forced to think when obstacle comes.
You must be forced to think.
Like, you're forced to get out of your.
Yeah,
it's almost like
it doesn't get any better.
Do you play video games?
No, I don't have time.
No, I don't have time. Okay. There's this video I saw about, like, when a guy starts, he's relaxed, and they start beating him 2-0. Before you know, the guy don't sit up. So it's that kind of thing. It's like life would force you to sit up.
Yes, you must sit up.
Thank you so much, man. Like, this is really, really, really refreshing. You know what I mean? I like your perspective on life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, your perspective of design. But like I said before we leave, there's a game we're gonna play. Right? It's called the Table of Cards.
Okay.
So I'm gonna shuffle the cards and have you pick one. I think some of the questions here are a bit deep. So if you're uncomfortable with anyone that you pick,
we'll answer everything.
Yeah, it's just one. So I'll split it in two, and then you pick one, and then. Ooh, okay. So you read it out, and then you give us your answer.
Okay. So in what ways am I a bridge to those who need hope? In what ways am I a bridge to those who need hope?
And it's interesting that you're a builder.
Yes. So I don't send anybody away. I don't send anybody away who is willing to work. I didn't get it easy. You understand? I'm not where I am today. I never think of myself as being anywhere yet, because it's a process for me. But if you come, hope requires work. Do you understand? And you must be ready to work it. So if you're looking up to me and say, I want to be where you are, come, you will work, and I will put you to the test. I always told myself this thing. I say, money will test you before it comes to you.
See if you're ready.
To say, are you ready for me?
See if you're not ready, it doesn't come.
It doesn't come. Are you ready for me? Are you ready to work for me? Are you ready to
sacrifice?
To
do the needful.
To do the needful. Are you ready to? There are times, so I mean, 3, 4 a.m. I will call you.
See.
Come, are you? Because I am working at that time.
Yes.
So you to come and work. You understand? So in what ways am I a bridge to those who need hope? I think I don't turn anyone away.
And you show up too for yourself.
Yes, I show up.
So people watching you would see that.
And I've always been an advocate for telling your story, because nobody told us, the people we went to the same school, the people that they brought to tell us as role models, came in helicopter and all that. They didn't tell us
how they
didn't tell us anything. No, you must be able to tell people how you were down, how you felt, to let them know that being down is normal.
It's normal.
It's part of the process.
I love that.
Do you understand? It's how that you did not remain down.
That's
what is important. And you will go down every day. There's something life will throw at you to put you down, but you have to shake and say no.
Not today.
Not today.
I love it. I love it. Wow, man. Thank you so much, Braide. This is, to be honest, this is part of why this perspective exists. I feel like in Nigeria we have too many surface conversations.
Yeah.
People don't go in depth to talk about their stories and their why. So I'm very happy and grateful that you shared your why with us. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for being on it. So yeah,
thank you
from us. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Bro.